We're so excited because having a past Sparks speaker coming back as a headliner is always exciting. Jenee Michelle is a professional business and life coach and the owner of the Pure Company. She is a public speaker and the host of a new show called The Gypsy Chronicles on Periscope. She is currently writing a book titled Sonder, a collection of people and their stories. She graduated from the University of Nevada, Reno, and she's a former broadcast journalist. Jenee is a champion of women and who want to grow and rebuild their lives. Please help me welcoming Jenee to the stage.
Hi. Thanks so much for being here. All right, so I want to know, how many of you and how did you come across your love beliefs? Have you ever thought about that? Where did you get them from? Your parents? Your grandparents? Maybe it was from the books that you read as a kid, or maybe the movies that you watched over and over and over again. Usually when we're asked these questions, we have kind of a story that goes along with it, right? From Facebook. For me, it was watching my dad, and he would shower my mom with gifts like flowers and jewelry and appreciation for the contributions that she made to their marriage. And this actually had a different effect on me. I thought, I actually don't think I want those things in my life. And I'm not sure if that makes me a complete idiot or a rebel, but I do know that it works out pretty well for my fiance. So all of these stories or these witnessings or these images help build on our ideas of love, and it builds on how we will practice love for the rest of our life. But what's the last place that we look to when we're building our love beliefs? The self. I mean, think about it. When was the last time that you handpicked, handcrafted, hand-designed your own love belief? So I want you to think historically about love. What visions come to mind? Is it maybe Romeo and Juliet? Is it kings and queens fighting over lands and religions? Maybe is it, when your aunt would come and make you watch all those old movies? Yeah. I remember one of mine, and it was built in a small classroom at the University of Nevada, Reno, and it was Philosophy 101. And I was reading Plato's The Symposium, and that's when I adopted the love belief that love really does come from the soul space and not from the body space. So I want you to skip to the present moment, and I want you to think about all of those images that stir in your mind of how you see love today. And you can think of it from, your social spaces if you want, your Tumblrs, your Pinterest, your Instagrams. Did they look anything like that? Now, aside from, they look like magazine ads, right? But aside from that, what else do you notice? It's very young, isn't it? Very youthful. It's very material driven, #goals. And it's very manufactured. This is what researcher Yann Delangelo refers to as seduction capital. It is small fragments and images that are given to us, like little small hits of dopamine that are sold to us. And if you perform like that, then you're worthy of love. You know what I had a hard time finding? A lot of those images. But I shouldn't be surprised, right? Because that's not selling me a vacation, it's not selling me a house, it's not selling me apparel, it's not selling me anything but fulfillment. And when we're fulfilled, we can't be sold, can we? This is also laced with tragedy, isn't it? Because at some point we know we might lose that other person, and that's heartbreaking. And I don't know, but I think marketers pretty much know that they can't sell us a bottle of tragedy. Nobody wants to live in a house of tragedy. Nobody wants to wear tragedy. So this is just not valued in our culture. All right, I have another question. How many of you would consider yourself pretty independent? I say there should be many of us, right? We value independence in our culture, don't we? We want so much to live our original kind of idealistic lifestyles. We don't want to be out-lifestyled by anybody, right? And the same goes true for love. We want to believe that our love relationships are unmatched by any other in the universe, that they are so unique, and we go to great lengths to prove that, don't we? Just take a look at your social media space. We post pictures of being in love with our lovers. Look what he got me, he must love me. Look where he's taking me, he must love me, right? kind of interesting, isn't it? And we go to great lengths if we don't have that kind of love to conceal it. I'm a bachelor. I love playing the field. I heard that. Or if we're in an unhappy marriage, maybe we talk and deflect and we talk about things like work and our children, which is not a bad thing, but maybe because we don't have authentic love. So I want you to also think, how does this manufactured love work in our society today? I mean, it's a really performance-based love, right? If you look like this, you get that. If you wear these things, you get this. You are worthy of love. And it makes us feel really vulnerable, doesn't it, when we don't have those things? We don't want to look vulnerable to anybody. Nobody wants to look like they're undesirable. Brené Brown, she's a great researcher, and she shows us a lot of things about vulnerability. And in order to have and be in love, you have to have a connection. But in order to have a connection, what do you have to be? Vulnerable, right? So you have to have both. I remember when I dropped that independent, I'm a strong, independent woman act with my fiance. We were in my apartment hanging out, and I thought, this is a great relationship. I'm super happy, but I'm also scared to death because he might leave. And I said, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop with you. And now on a flip comment, he turned around, we'll just walk around barefoot then. He had me. It was over. So we've been peddled love since the beginning of time. We've been sold love through religion and, literature, right? Romeo and Juliet again. And yes, religion, Corinthians 13. And through art, the Kiss, Gustav. We've even been sold from the missing songs, love songs of the Kalahari or the Bushmen in Australia. So there is a currency for love, but it's sold in fear. We fear losing love as much as we fear losing money in our society. So it's pretty interesting how they're packaged together, aren't they? We go in this hot pursuit of trying to find these things to feel safe and feel connected in love. That's what we're all seeking, right? Jason Silva, great philosopher, says, we hope to find somebody to fall in love with so we can save them, in turn hoping that they save us from that tragedy of being alone. I remember thinking about those days when I was a little girl. What would I wear at the wedding? Who would be the guests? The cake. The cake. But none of those visions ever came with, what would it be like to have endless conversations with a loved one? What would it be like to build a dream with him? What would it be like to solve problems with that person? So here we are, right back at the beginning a little bit, aren't we? Oh, the pending parade of Valentine's Day is upon us. We're so excited, aren't we? Cricket, cricket. So I love Valentine's Day. And I'm not going to say boycott Valentine's Day because I love love. But I am going to ask you to maybe rewrite your love stories and your love beliefs. Consider the visions that are being sold to you. And what are they really selling? Is it a youth-obsessed love? A cheap knockoff of what you really want? An aging love that'll last a lifetime? Consider maybe reworking your love a little bit, creating art that is love, creating music that is love. Stand vulnerable when you're trying to find that love partner. Stand vulnerable in front of your current partner and watch your relationship hit a whole new level. We can't be deceived by this manufactured love. It's like a chase that we're never going to get to the end of. A race that we will never see a victory or even a loss from. So above all, when you see these pictures, we tie the knot, don't we? That's how we talk about marriage, unions. We have a ball and chain. Yeah, that's always fun, right? That's a good one. We put locks, fly across the sky, right? Locks of love on these beautiful bridges across. All these things are like ka-ching, 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 right? They all are very expensive. And we do it all for this mythical thing that we call love. I feel like a caged bird when I hear about these things or see these things. So maybe we could adopt a new love belief today. How will you rewrite your love story? How will you rebuild your love relationship with your current partner or the pending one that is about to come into your life? What will that look like to you? How will you design those beliefs? So above all, if you take nothing else, how about we not let love tie us down, but adopt a new belief in that love should set you free. Thank you.